doesn't. I wouldn't count that as retro myself, but in this house we like to lie. We have this timer is on. Next is let me add this viewer rewards new. So real. Game is, and let me pin this thing. Yeah, I forget that I also should ping it on the YouTube one. I am amazing. Give me a second. This, yeah, there we go. And ban, no, pin. Why can't I ban? What the fuck? I what? I can pin. I can pin the thing on the. Okay, give me a second. I'm having a stroke right now. Let me copy this. Copy and no. Obviously, not that one. This one. Mute tab over here. There we go. We have that. We have this. Can I pin you now? Pin message. Yeah. There we go. Message pinned. Undo. No, we don't undo things in this house. We live with the sadness of knowing that we did things wrong. No. Anyways, next is audio test. Ah, yeah. I muted myself and I almost lost it when I tried to activate the noise and I started listening to myself. They added a direct and easy access button for monitoring audio, which is, in my case, in my opinion, not in my case, in my opinion, actually amazing. Yeah, and the problem is, as always, it has like 1 or 2 seconds of delay, so it's incredibly mind-boggling to listen to that. It's trying to listen to your own voice. The best problem is always you listen to that and you have the milliseconds of delay, and that's annoying as fuck. Discord now. Did I close Discord? I did, okay. I was gonna say, why do we have Vanguard open? Because it's linked to the PC, no matter what I do. So who could have expected that? Amazing. A second. We put this link plus this pac-man between quotations online. No, we can say pac-man and that's it. We have pac-man today. This. What's next? This. I also had another entirely different game, but I don't know. I don't really want to. I feel it's I feel like it's boring to actually try that other one in terms of I am going to be way too lost in this different game. I am minimally good at Pac-Man. Pac-Man is incredibly simple, so it's absolutely real that Pac-Man is easy to play, but this other game isn't. So I do not want to play actually that other game. What are you talking about? Great question. I am talking about Hype Sam 2 Survivors, which was gifted in the what is it? In the Steam? No, in the Epic? No, in the GOG, Good Old Games Play Store. Play Store? What is it called? Launcher, I guess. Yeah, give me a second. Now, let me open. No, don't open vertically. This house. We don't use vertical things, no, horizontal things. Get more server boosts. No, we are not here for that. Copy link, yeah, and now, what am I looking for? Yeah. I saw a friend of mine returning to uploading like not serious videos, but gaming. It's I don't know exactly what to categorize it. It's something strange along the lines of uh, clips, but not really clips because it's not something so much. We can say clips. I mean, I guess. So yeah. Point is, amazing to see that happen actually. Like I wasn't expecting to see my friend doing that because he is quite a serious person. No, it's simply because I don't know something about not really expecting to see the guy who has a show and all of that out of nowhere go back and try to upload clips to YouTube of when he's gaming. Like I don't know, it's like the older structure, also of when you clip stuff and whatnot, where like the older clips channels and such, where there wasn't even like a personality behind. It's just the gameplay, the notion. Like it feels weird because I am from a completely different era, or from a different for a completely from a completely different mindset when it comes to internet personalities and all of that. So it also is like, why is just the gameplay? What are we expecting, brother? But that's my personal judgment. Yeah. The point is, it's very good. I am happy to see that. Simply because he's trying? Yeah, I guess so. No. I had to try something. Yeah. I realized something amazing. For some reason, like so many movies are available directly on YouTube as long as they are old enough or niche enough. Uh, so, let me see. Is this movie here? Fuck. It is with that weird format of splitting the movie on parts. Fuck. Okay. The second Renaissance is on YouTube. Is it good or is it bad? What a great question. I don't really know. Also, what is all of this thing? There is an entire saga built around Animatrix, the second Renaissance, kids story, program, beyond, detective story, matriculated. What? I wasn't thinking about getting into an entire cinematic universe. Fuck. Can't happen. We're going to ignore all of that. I just wanted to watch that movie. So yeah, I guess I will leave this open. Now, excuse me for my ADHD. I had to check something out before I forgot. Sorry. The point is, today. Hello, do you wanna capture me? Okay, there we are. Good morning. It has been such a long time. Today, I had an idea for a game. I heard something like, I like to some degree there is this realization between the truth of the matter and the distance which exists in the observation of what actually happens, let's say. It's like I think it was, I don't exactly remember, I think it was a Northern Lions video, more like a highlight, yeah. And this whole notion of how somebody was complaining about the game being played, not the one that they wanted. I think it was recent enough, something along the lines of, instead of it being slightly Spire 2, it was any of the other random roguelikes that the Balderman likes, and the whole notion of how it's a real that in the end most of the time it's just complaints because the flashing lights that catch the attention are not the ones that I personally like, so I decide to complain. Therefore, on one hand, like to some degree, to some other degree, there is such an unrecognized layer of. But I also want to play something myself. If we play something, it is because I personally have different motives to be playing it. Whichever kind of reason pushes me to actually do so, I am consciously choosing to play the thing myself, not that it happens because yes, somebody recommended that to me, or even if the recommendation exists, I am paying attention to that. And I am choosing to heed that recommendation, basically, you know. So it's strange to think that the whole notion rests on the idea that the game is simply not the one that I like, but it's pointless to some degree. To some other degree, it's not really pointless. To some other degree, we aren't really in an era in which it is actually acceptable. I feel like still we are not. It does exist, but it is in a different kind of bubble. The whole space where streamers in general, content creators, yes, focus solely on stuff of this sort. Also, yeah. In terms of, sorry, before I move on, in terms of, because unavoidably Northern Lion doesn't really just say things. He does have good ideas sometimes, but it also depends on the gameplay. Quite a lot of times, the whole aspect of playing something is quite essential to the rant itself. I don't want to compare somebody who has actually been doing this for a decade or so, I think at this point, to somebody as new as me. So yeah, I it's not a direct comparison, but it is still very much similar in terms of I just have something in my hands, because I also find myself having a much harder time in saying anything else, and I feel if I have to consciously admit that I am struggling so hard with giving you anything else, we might as well not have to go through that. We are just going to accept that we are going to be playing this thing, and that's it, you know? And that's the same emotion that I feel like I encounter when I listen, or when I hear that thing of, the flashing lights are not the ones, not originated from the source that you like, but they are still flashing lights anyways. You don't really care about what you are seeing. You only care about it being more akin to what you have already believed you prefer, so that you don't have to think as hard. But in itself, what matters is the personality behind. No, I don't think so. It would be fantastic if that was entirely the case, but it also really is not. At the same time, on the other hand, like I feel like we're slowly, along those lines, we're slowly getting to more and more recognize the substance of the person when it comes to the stream, but it is still very much tied directly to something like gaming, unavoidably. More so, I mean, in the end, unavoidably, also it has a lot to do with the person themselves still reinforcing this same habit and whatnot. Like, even mates or IRL streamers still do stuff that is related to gaming here and there. There is not that there should be, but there is not a complete disconnection, detachment from gaming in the platform, from the mates or figures and such. So it's impossible to make such a sudden change in perspectives and whatnot. Anyways, that's not really the point as to why we are here. I just wanted to acknowledge that idea. And moving on. I think I said it. Good morning. It has been a long while. Hope everything is going fine. Today we have Pac-Man. Because yeah, I already sort of admitted that I just wanted to play something incredibly simple enough, and I don't really know anything else as simple, as basic as Pac-Man. So yeah, um, there is going to be one issue, and that is I have no clue how we are going to actually be capable of using, like you will see. Give me a second. We move here. We activate the desktop audio. Why is the clock still active? Ah, I had it active myself. Sorry. Uh, it's not muted, brother. Do you wanna mute yourself? Ah, because I can listen to it. You can also listen to it. Sorry. There we go. Now, what am I trying to do? Yes. I was saying. Sorry, I am losing it. That if I click here, you're going to see. Can you see my cursor? Okay, the right, certainly. So on the left side, right side, there is the what is it called? I am going to lose it. I forgot how annoying it was to hit a big dot when playing Pac-Man, like incredibly loud, basically. Dear God, make it stop! No, sorry. I was saying, I don't know. Subtitles. The subtitles. Excuse me. I I do. It's overwhelmingly intense. The noise from waka waka waka. Ah, wait. If I move down here, yeah. I get to basically. What is? Let me try to explain. What the fuck is World's Biggest Pac-Man? It's like an online Pac-Man version, basically, where you just have the capacity to play. Maps made by the community and whatnot, undoubtedly, and the main point, quote unquote, is to just explore the different creations by the other players and such. And we are playing that with the excuse of doing so. The reality is, as I said before, no, not really. We are going to basically be having this as sort of filler content. Because, yeah, I don't know. I have yet to finally, on the whole process of figuring stuff out, eternally thinking and reanalyzing how to proceed in the different aspects that have to deal with existence. Yeah, something funny comes. Holy shit! I right. Where do I appear? I appear here. Okay. Also, how many lives? Extra Pac-Man every 10,000 points. Okay. I didn't die. Thank God. Oh my God! The ghost positions save every single time you switch. Amazing. That's actually diabolical. Anyway, I was saying that, and I don't know. Yeah, I feel like in the end, it's it's good enough. Yeah, it's sufficient enough. I don't really want to do something complicated. I feel like it's absolutely annoying to realize, as always. I try to personally. That's where my opinion does come into play. Related to what I said before, I do believe like it's quite useful to understand the role of getting. Holy shit! I almost died. To actually, yes, indeed, pay so much attention and be so directly focused on what is the things that one gets to do on stream and whatnot. And it's, yeah, I don't know, I feel like it always ends up being quite counterintuitive to assume so much of an importance, not on the, what the fuck, it's not a amazing map. I like how this entire game has like, at this point, perhaps millions of maps. But can we reach them? No. Why? Holy shit, I'm there. No, I'm not. No. Amazing. Yeah, I was saying. It's amazing to see how many levels this has, while in the other hand, the reality is we cannot reach them because people didn't add any way to jump to those other levels. What do I need to do? Do I need to use exits to enter adjoining mazes at any time? Okay, so real, brother. But can you explain to me where are the other mazes? Why do we only have 4 mazes next to us? This... I'm not losing it, am I? Where are the other exits? Why are only the exits present for these maps and nothing else? Is it something related to how this system works and such? Perhaps? I have to assume so. Like, it isn't really that hard to code a pac-man in any way. Like, why would it not be possible to actually make sure that indeed you can jump to other levels without having to complete them or whatever? I have no clue. Anyway, point being, in what I mentioned before, in what I mentioned about the whole, we are slowly getting to have some degree of awareness about, yeah, indeed. The point of streaming is not really to stream so much for the sake of, so to speak, just playing things. There is still the tendency to have gaming as a main point, main focal point, and unavoidably, it's beautiful to see somebody actually good at games to playing something that they are incredibly good at and getting to realize where their skills sit at, so to speak, you know? But while that happens, there is also this layer of, anyways, it's not really present that much. The whole aspect of this person does pay any attention whatsoever or does in any degree only do that. There is also the personality aspect. I lost already. No, I didn't lose already. Okay, whatever. And in doing so, I feel like unavoidably it's strange to forget so much how this is. Now I did lose. Okay, home. Do you see? There are like hundreds upon hundreds of levels. Why can't I move into any other level? What's going on, my man? We are in the dead center. Which one is the dead center? Who knows? Let me choose this one, I guess. Loading. We are not going to log into Facebook. Can you... Okay, there are doors over here. Why did the first level have no other doors open anywhere? What happened? Anywhere. Not really important, I guess. I was saying, we have the realization that there is the necessity for gameplay, but at the same time, we don't really have the complete awareness to say, it's, in the end, it doesn't really matter that much anyways. I do prefer the personality. I do bind more with the person doing the stream itself, so to speak. I get to like when they focus on games if they are good enough, but if the person isn't really that great, I don't really care myself. I don't really have any interest or any fascination for watching somebody be... Not there is that notion of when somebody is astonishingly horrible at games, you do get some sort of prize, some part of yourself gets stirred. What the fuck? The blue is so fast, amazing. But when that doesn't really happen, when that's not present, when that's not... Also, there is no huge dot here. Amazing, I am dead already? No. Thank you. What the fuck is this? What are these levels? Who designed this? So little effort. It's the most basic maze ever. At least we can farm points. What's saying? And I don't know, I feel like, yeah, we have the realization that the personality matters, but not entirely, and in doing so it is strange to see how much there are still efforts to try to justify them in the whole aspect of no, yeah, because in the end it does really play quite a role. It's not really that significant in the end. I can't personally admit I don't really give a single fuck out the gameplay. At some points I feel like unavoidably what the person gets to do, gets to say, gets to talk out and such plays a much more important role. I don't know, I don't feel like I am at a point in my life in which I need to watch somebody do something amazing while streaming. I feel like it's better to get to listen to somebody say something significant. I don't really even the whole notion of yeah, will I watch somebody build a shed, for example? Not even really, not even actually nowadays. I don't really care about that. I don't feel like it's significant in any way. It's my main proposition at some point was Twitch is quite an amazingly useful space for the conversations that could exist in regards to many of the things that have to deal with ideas and notions and a space in which you can simply discuss stuff, so to speak, no? In a very basic manner. And while this is the case, while this works like that, while this works like that, there is also quite a completely ignored reality, or this works like that, but at the same time, this doesn't get accepted as such. Let's say like that. This doesn't really get mentioned operating in that realm, in that sense, in that way, in any manner. You don't really get to listen to others say, yeah. I like to watch somebody because we get to have interesting conversations. The things that are said are meaningful. I feel like, sadly, that much. You can get some piece of insight, but that's more of a byproduct of getting to actually have luck in whoever you are watching doing that themselves. Not really something that happens naturally, not really something that you should be expecting, so to speak. The more I don't exactly remember the words that they used to describe it, but I remember at one point there was this video that I saw that said the streamer doesn't really get to have their place exist in the world as anything more than an entertainer. And if they aspire to anything that isn't being just an entertainer, they are stepping out of their place. They are ignoring what are their responsibilities and what are the things that they should be doing and such. And I feel like that is an incredibly negative way of thinking about it. In actuality, it doesn't really need to be like that. It doesn't really need to operate only like that. But we have gotten so accustomed to that being the case that there is no discussion in streaming operating as anything other than that, basically. And I don't know. My point is, yeah, I think I personally can admit. No, what the? It was a fucking trap. Who develops such maps that you cannot access the point? Yeah. Ay. I was operating in automatic. Completely deserved, I guess. I was saying then. And I don't know, yeah. It's worth to see it still being like that. Streaming can get to be much more than this conception, this way of, oh my god, the guy didn't get killed, of being, of operating and such, and reducing it to only that much is strange, is unsettling, I would say. And yeah, in the hopes of, I don't know, I wouldn't say so. I don't think this particularly gets to be that different. This is very much as the continuation of what I said before. I can. We are still in this tradition, so as long as this tradition exists and is sustained by the environment, we can therefore shield ourselves in such ways of acting and similar. So, if we all seem to agree that the fine thing, the acceptable thing, is to basically play something, then we shall completely leverage ourselves on this fact in order to be completely free, therefore. Because in the end, you know what's better than to not have to worry about anything of significance? To have the capacity of doing so, and when you cannot properly reach this desire, this action, this part of existence, you get to just fall back under the. I can admit, at least for me, it works as an excuse entirely and nothing else. So it doesn't matter what it is otherwise. The reasoning of yeah, you know what, we're playing something so amazing. If it works like that, then it's welcome to keep working like that, and we can engage within the walls that we are given. We can learn how to play instead of being angry that we are confined in such a limited conception of the world and its current form and such. So yeah, no, I feel like therefore the point is that yeah, it's all good. Oh my! I want to try to clear like one screen at the very least because I haven't cleaned any. I am going to. I haven't cleaned any of them, so it probably is quite unwise to not actually clean any at all. But at the same time, I feel like it's incredibly hard. Something that people do ignore, I can give it this much. Something that people ignore is the meaningful design behind the pac-man. Like, the AI gets incredibly broken once you don't actually play by the proper rules, and it's that very much all the time in 60%, 90% of the found levels. So yeah. Anyways, point being, I think we're done. No! So close, you're so far away. I still also have two. They should try to get inside there, so do I have enough time to get there? Yeah, I do. No! Mangry. Anyways. I guess there is actually an issue of you cannot really play the entirety of the open map, so it already crashed. No way. No way we already crashed, Mr. Pac-Man. Okay, there we are. Hudson, te amo. So real. So real. I was saying basically. And I don't know, it's at least for me then something interesting to try. If we cannot find any other, oh my god, any other way to do work around these things, then at least this much is good. It's acceptable enough. Yeah. And so, besides that, because we have been sitting on the exact same point ever since I started, excuse me. I don't know, yeah. It's just that I feel like anyways, it's strange to realize how all of these things operate. It could be much different and we are not really interested in anything changing like that. My friend, the blue ghost cornering me by slowly making moves 20 seconds ahead of where I am going to actually be moving. Amazing. Oh, yeah. What happens if I clear an entire screen? Can somebody make a proper screen where I don't have to play the game and just... Like, not that I don't have to play the game. I don't have to think that hard about anything. I just get to win no matter what. Because currently, people developed all the levels with the map design being incredibly fucking hard. Like, do you see what is this insanity? I am trapped! Isn't it amazing? this was really a troll game, not? Okay, wait. Can you see? No, you can see my cursor. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that. But basically, the lines. There are tiny lines here. Okay, wait. I think I have it. Do I have the? No. Give me a second. Give me a second. Have an idea. Arrow could be this, and we paste it here, and we make it visible. Okay, and it goes here. Now you can see an arrow, an incredibly huge arrow. Okay, that arrow. There are lines like that everywhere on the screen. That means that the levels are interconnected. The reality is they aren't interconnected in any way whatsoever. So, good. Really not, but can happen, I guess. Also, somebody made. What the fuck does this thing say? Soap. Yeah. I read something completely different. Doesn't matter. What the fuck is this? Ah, it's soap. Yeah. But anyway, so I was saying, and I don't know. I feel like it's just strange to see things working like that. I don't really want the world to change that much, but at the same time, it's whenever the possibility is present, isn't it strange to see it being accepted? That no, yeah, we should make no effort in actually changing anything. Like, why not? Isn't it amazing to actually have that chance, to actually have that thing be present and such? Miss, by, is, what the fuck does that say? Ah! Miss By is hot. Understandable. I'm blind, sorry. I wonder also how many levels are we going to have to play until we finally find those that are like, I don't know, in one way or another, probably banned by Twitch. Like, is there things that actually, I didn't even think about that. Is there any level in which there might be a pornographic design, taking into consideration that probably this page was abandoned years ago? I am pretty sure the developer isn't even thinking about this anymore nowadays. Yeah. The older gamers.com. So real. Sonic, we start here. I was saying them anyways. I don't know. I feel like therefore it is strange to see just how the abandonment of change works in those ways. Because in the end, I don't know, I would have liked to see it work much more differently. I don't think they. I guess the only that I have gotten accustomed to hanging to when it comes to all of these ideas is if we can talk about this, then that means that it isn't late enough for us to have no possibility of ever trying to do anything about it. So it's good enough, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like it's strange to say it, to describe it as a prejudice, but in the end, what is it? If it's not a prejudice, what do people operate under? When you think out the idea of doing anything stream related that isn't just playing a game. Is it just an assumption? Just a healthy assumption? I don't think so. I wouldn't call it in any way myself something so healthy, so glamorous in any way and such. It's nice that we can still identify it working as that, but it doesn't really mean that it truly is something so great. I do feel like it sadly doesn't get to be much more when it should be much more. And I don't know, I'm just, I wouldn't say frustrated, it's just having the sensation that yeah, it's it's sad to see it be like that. Because in the end, yeah, it would have been better to see it be something else. Even if what it currently is, what it currently exists as, is not really that, so to speak. Like, yeah, but we can at least still rejoice in the realization that this is what we get to have. As always, I don't know, surprisingly enough, we haven't entirely let go of the possibility of thinking about stuff, of figuring stuff out, of having these places for conversations and whatnot. Also, yeah, there has to be something like a bug or something like that. I have no clue how or why this thing doesn't really let you. Oh my god, I'm dead. I'm entirely dead. I am. I have been. I was saying. We still get to have some degree of freedom here, but it isn't entirely that much freedom. Like, as always, we have this fake sense of freedom in which, yeah, we can do whatever, not completely, because whatever won't be that great, but at least you have the chance to screw yourself over by doing whichever thing you feel like doing. So, and that's good enough, quote unquote, in terms of free will and whatnot, and my capacity to. That one was my fault, actually. I can accept that. Okay, we have been moving way too much to this side. What the fuck is this level? What? This is the worst level I have ever seen in my life. What the fuck? Wait. I completed this. Amazing. Completed. Yeah. But the walls won't fall in any way, right? Like, no matter what I try, the walls will not disappear themselves, right? So, quite pointless to some degree. And also, this makes it even easier for the enemies to follow behind me. So, I don't know how great of a level this one is actually. I feel like the pink one is going to actually get me. No, it isn't. Okay, well. There we go. So, that's how, somehow, we got 2 levels completely out of nowhere. Great. Wow. What does it say here? No. No. No, oh my god. I I didn't die. Okay, where Mem, what the fuck? Mush? What does that mean? What the fuck? What does that mean, brother? What do you mean by that? Anyway, I was saying, I don't know. I feel like it's always therefore strange to see it working those ways. In the end, it's still. Also, I feel like it is still pretty much a completely young platform, so you can forgive it for being so. There are the notion of the main audience, quote unquote, the people, the main user base, let's say like that instead. Audience is incredibly unnatural as a word sometimes. So yeah, the main user base isn't really that interested in anything else but gaming most of the time, so it's difficult to try to say, yeah, people, wake up, people, wait, this is a free level, amazing. Sorry, I was saying. Ay, what a beautiful thing, finally a free level. A level, this is what I was looking for, somewhere where I don't have to worry about the ghosts at all. So, I don't know, I feel like it's just strange still. I even so, like, the premise is we don't really have a place for that deep of a communication anywhere. unavoidably we have things like cinema allowing those conversations to exist, and I don't know, stuff like video essays are also giving it yet another place to be, yeah, let out, quote unquote. But in itself, it is still pretty much absent the reality or the possibility of talking about a more philosophical gathering point for different communities, I guess, and such. I, to some degree, Reddit did allow that to some manner, to some level, not entirely, but yeah, and it did so enough to become the most recognizable landmark for that, basically. And inside of this, there is also the reality that yeah, it's weird that no other land, basically, or not no other web page got to let that exist. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like it's. I say all of this as if it was completely unexplainable, but no. In the tiny analysis study, desire to understand, to grasp, to finally capture the essence as to why is philosophy not such a trending thing. I do have some ideas, some realizations, some awareness as to why that is the case. Sadly, yeah, it makes a lot of sense that it doesn't really get to work like that. It doesn't really get to operate in that way. It's quite difficult to actually want to or have the possibility of getting, yeah, getting this world to operate like that. This philosophy as a conversation is not really that normalized or is not really that common to encounter nowadays. So it's fine, it's whatever to some degree. To some other, it's not really at that this level. Once again, I have to assume it has to do something with the cache usage or something, because I swear to God you can jump to all the levels that you feel like jumping to. Not you are not confined to like, what is this, like 9 levels or so every single time I choose one? This is annoying as hell, my man. I want to actually have the possibility of playing whichever level I feel like playing, not only a handful of them. Then I don't even know. I think I am forced to die most probably if I don't want to actually lose. If I don't want to actually not lose. If I don't want to actually remain in the limbo after I get to clean every level. That assumes that we're going to have the capacity to do that. I don't think so, but implying that I ever do accomplish that, playing all the levels is quite. What the fuck is this layout? Playing all the levels is impossible, basically, like this. And I am pretty sure, even it says somewhere, this game or this experience was made for Internet Explorer in mind. And not only do I not have Internet Explorer installed, I think it is deprecated, so I am pretty sure it wouldn't really be that great to utilize, to try to actually get it working with the quote-unquote proper software. But whatever, we don't worry about any of that, I guess. Continue. So, I was saying simply, and I don't know, I feel like it's therefore unavoidably strange to see that, yeah, this is pretty much an incredibly unexplored terrain. I can say that, yeah. I feel like it's not really that understood, and sadly, I don't think it will change that much anytime soon. There is, my current working theory is, I don't feel like philosophy in itself is so unattractive anymore. I have the sensation more than anything else that the common idea towards what it gets seen as is that one. So if I have to think about doing philosophy for a wider audience and whatever, I don't feel like doing so, because I already come with the preconception that it is not going to be that great or that significant or that meaningful in any manner and whatnot. And suddenly, that as a deterrent for the young spirits and those who, while I want to accomplish something, I also have to get other things in different boxes. That kind of mentality finds itself completely destroyed once, oh my god, once you actually have to confront this idea. Because are you truly going to sacrifice yourself for something that maybe never actually gives you any kind of result in the end? It pretty much feels like philosophy is a dead space, so why try to do that? Why bother creating it and whatnot? And sadly, yeah, my conclusion is that no, it doesn't really operate like that. It doesn't really exist as nothing but that emptiness. It just gets normalized as such, and because there is no need to further contemplate what it could truly be, we all end up getting incredibly accustomed to it, therefore being nothing. And I don't know, I do feel like suddenly it doesn't really need to be the case, and the efforts are not really that constant. There is, okay, counterpoint, because I have to acknowledge there is a particular side of philosophy, like anything that has to do, for example, with analytical philosophy, you have to understand, you need quite a lot of text before getting into any conversation, and the whole the eternal argument of elitism, basically, no? That's real. That's not like, oh wow, does this actually exist? No, yeah, that's completely real, variant, aka. So yeah, there are still problems within the discipline itself, but it's not like it is completely unoperational, incapable of working in any manner. Let's say like that. It's not it doesn't exist under the best conditions, but it doesn't mean that because it doesn't have the best conditions, it deserves no attention whatsoever, or no desire, oh my god, no desire to see it do better, so to speak, you know? But I don't know. I guess my point still is, it is whatever, and with this much whatever, we learn to work around with all of that, and get to finally be free of whatever. So yeah, I know. Simply saying that, yeah. This, trying to tie it back more coherently into what I was saying before, that yeah, we can at least be happy that there is no condemnation for what we do. That much is what we can rejoice in when it comes to doing all of these kind of things, basically, because otherwise it will be incredibly sad to have to deal with that feeling as something that would impede us from even having the chance of speaking about things in such a manner, basically. And I don't know, I am hoping simply that the perspective, the landscape gets to change at some point, yeah, perhaps. But anyways, I don't know. I have to actually admit that I am stressing so much over why the fuck are there such a limited amount of levels accessible and nothing else. If I wanted something so entirely unfunctional, why didn't we just do something else instead of this? Probably, like, I wouldn't have expected this to happen, otherly. It's quite sad to see it be the case. Like, this project in its original form was actually quite beautiful, quite amazing to see and such. It's sad to see it now be in this state in which, yeah, you know what? Pac-Man is pretty much, or this model of Pac-Man doesn't work pretty much because you cannot really explore things. You can only see a very limited amount of levels at a time and nothing else. So you have to try incredibly hard to go out of your way and encounter those other things that might be one way or another available out there. I am there, no? No, I am not. Amazing. And I don't know. I just it it brings me to some degree some sorrow. I can say that, yeah. I can admit to that actually. Sadly, knowing that it doesn't work like it should, the way in which it was meant to actually work is sad. Because it was much more amazing when you could get the full experience, but the whole characteristic of things are made to decay in this world of constant renewal and such, so we can only be happy with this fact and we can only learn to live with that and learn to accept it as such. Nothing else to really do. Yeah. Also, yeah, I feel like I'm not really going to win anywhere here, so why don't we just die enough times so that we can pass on to a new section of levels? I will blame it on the people who made the levels. Like, the AIs are incredibly strange, actually. Once you actually get accustomed to understanding how they operate, it's weird to see how difficult they are to properly avoid and such. Is this one a free win? Let's see. Yeah, this is a free win. Okay. Oh my god, so many flashing lights. I'm going to have a fucking stroke here. Yeah. I was saying, it's the worst game that I could have chosen because it's making me lose all my focus with the constant blinking of the big dots. Oh yeah, I was trying to say that, and I don't know. Even if it is like that, even if streaming gets to only operate under these conditions and such, I am still happy that we got to be here ourselves. More, I said it before under a different but similar explanation that yeah, it's good to be that we're allowed to have this, but it also is good to see that there is no real issue with that. Like, in the world, you're allowed to you're quote unquote allowed. The more deeper philosophical analysis of you're technically speaking, you're allowed to kill somebody. You can kill one person, and after killing one person, you are going to have problems with the law of your country. Like, from the viewpoint of the logicality of things, not if it is morally correct or not. Technically speaking, you're allowed to kill somebody. After having killed one person, you're going to be imprisoned, you're going to have issues with the law, and you're going to be shown the consequences of having chosen to do this action that we all can accept is socially condemned. Yes, that is real and that is completely correct. But you can still do it one time. In that very same sense, it's, I don't know. Unlike that, when you look at streaming, you don't have the issue, you don't have the problem, the limit of, yeah, you here, we don't get to ever do philosophy. We are actually capable of doing philosophy, and there is no, you can do it like that. We can come here and probably talk out most ideas. I am willing to say, oh my god, I am there. Me when I don't know how to develop a level. I was saying, oh my god, this level is horrible, my man. It has so many choke points. Amazing. This level was designed for the ghosts, not for me. Yeah. Also, how did somebody lose their life here? What the fuck? Anyway, I was saying, careful. Now that I established the comparison, it's not like you are afraid to drag out philosophy, but you can only do it one time. Then you are going to have to deal with the social condemnation of actually having talked out philosophy. No. Here, we actually can do so. And we are actually allowed to do so without any real issue. It's it's amazing, therefore, to see that under these conditions, there is still no interest in the discipline in any way. It's you will have expected that now that it is more accessible, I don't want to say more than ever. I feel like at other times in history it was perhaps more accessible to everybody as something more standardized of a practice, let's say. But yeah, being whatever it is. Also, let me actually lose here because these levels are absolute trash. It's amazing to see how bad these levels are. No, I like that all of these people have their names displayed so openly because unavoidably they choose to associate their Facebook with this thing. And growing up comes with the consequence of getting to have your own grown-up account still associated to so many of these things. So yeah. Anyways, point is, I don't know. Therefore, if philosophy is in itself not so much of something that we have considered banished or forbidden, why is that? Why is it still so absent from the current spaces? I don't know. I argument is that on the other hand, as I said before, there are still so many other pieces of media contemplating and discussing and such philosophy in a completely different manner, more from a if you already know, perhaps you can understand this a little better. If you already are aware, you can, to some degree, conversations about these things and whatnot. I feel like, for example, something that I do not see happening that much, I don't want to say in no capacity, because that much I know is false. Like, there are some subtle mentions and some art is the media, any artistical expression, is the way in which philosophy leaks onto reality with the accepted thing of philosophy being expressed in a particular manner in which it is quite transformed, transfigured, what's the veiled by the given appearances of the ideas, let's say like that. Okay. And art allows therefore to have many expressions of philosophical notions in ways in which only if you are already aware of what the philosophical idea in itself is, you can say, I see what we're actually talking about. I can therefore properly talk out this thing or understand that this is the point that you are trying to go for and this is the idea that you are trying to have be here expressed and emulated and whatnot. It's not entirely prohibited, it's not entirely made non-existent. We have philosophical spaces, but these philosophical spaces are assumed only so for those who are already aware of what the philosophical notions themselves are in the more general views, let's say, in the more admittedly popular manners of speaking about it, and boichi.net, don't enter that site. I was saying. And because it works like that, once again, I cannot entirely say, yeah, so we don't have any philosophical space whatsoever in the current landscapes of social networks and whatnot, and in the mainstream. There are things like that, like, for example, the idea that came to my mind as I was saying that we have such a huge occurrence of serious nowadays delve on philosophical topics and such without directly ever mentioning the source of those philosophical topics, those philosophical conundrums, so to speak, also. The only thing that is present there is an idea that is interesting to consider, that is worth thinking about, without any other given context, without any other given reason to actually understand why you should be bothering at all with the consideration of those ideas. And when this operates like that, unavoidably there are bigger issues that arise out of this habit, out of this way of dealing with things. And we're acceptant of that. We're acceptant of it working in this way and such. Not because it is anything bad or something that should be considered a negative, but simply because, yeah, it's how things work and nothing else. It's how things function, and we are accustomed to it being the modus operandi of nowadays and such. We don't really. I know already that philosophy is not such a popular topic. I don't expect to go out there and see people being so willingly discussing and in deep conversations and ponderings about the states of things in those ways. Philosophy is the byproduct of many other things, and philosophical conclusions and such are present as a consequence of many other things accidentally, not truly because you are willing to think out things with that deepness and such. The only issue, for example, that does exist in that way is the reality of, and also because things operate in this same manner, philosophy, therefore, also falls under the category of when you have to think about the truly complex ideas that are in the current day existent in the proper space of philosophy, you suddenly have to accept that many of those will never at all be acknowledged or be even expressed in this mainstream discourse and such, you know? There is some philosophy over out there basically, but it's not, it doesn't exist because, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Yeah. What an amazing level design, I have to admit that. I have to completely admit that this level design is not infuriating at all. You know what? I'm going to skip you. Thank you very much. Sign.com, magazine.com. Wow. A sign? Is that an A? Probably. Anyways, I was saying. And I don't know, I feel like it's strange to see it work like that. Because in the end, yeah, philosophy could have been much more. Sadly, it has gotten to this place in the current times and whatnot. And we have learned to accept it as such. It's not really necessary to hope for more, or it's not really interesting to want to have more. As always, when you reflect out philosophy, you cannot think about it without accepting the previous figures that formed the discipline and such. And there are enough bad examples to say, yeah, you know what, it doesn't matter. Even if it could be great, those who we could utilize as headlines didn't give us the best examples, so to speak, so it is whatever. Yeah. But I don't know. I wasn't really considering this only for the philosophical discussion, so Whatever. Is this level 3? Wait. Play for fun. Yeah. At some point I'm going to click by mistake the... There is a 1 point here. Amazing. Wow. So great. It's amazing to see that this level has a 100% completion rate, at least. Like, every single person who played this completed the level at least. Because, I don't know, something surprising about how other people didn't really accomplish that on that other level. On that other completely free level. Anyways, I was saying. And I don't know, I still find it strange. I think that it's always interesting to consider how where we are actually standing in relation to all of those things. Because in the end, it's good that we are talking about all of these things, but it also is hard to see that we are still here by ourselves without many more spaces where this is actually an interest, this is actually something sought after, so to speak, you know? But I don't know, I also, as always, I feel like a completely honest analysis will require the admission that, yeah, in itself, the people who have this happen, who bring this forward, like say like that, also don't really do the best that they can to make sure that this changes in any way. Sadly, the norm is, for most cases, to really just philosophy in its current form is maybe a slowly dying discipline, and it's fine, you know. We don't really want to change it in any way. We shouldn't really want to change it in any way. We don't really have to change it in any way, so let it rot away. Even if there could be many more useful things to discover thanks to that, we shall not think about that factor ourselves. We shall only worry about the reality that we ourselves can gain something out of it, and whatever it is that we gain, as long as it is good enough, it will be sufficient for us. We don't really have to... Oh my god, I'm going to die. I am not going to have enough... No! Yes? Yeah, I have enough time actually to get to the... to the exit. Oh. I got a fruit for completing the level. What the fuck? Where is my fruit, brother? Yeah, I was saying then. What the fuck? I only make noise when I eat things? Okay, understandable. Why is there no... actually, why is there no pac-man music? I would have liked some pac-man music here, like some... But it's fine, doesn't matter. We're not really that dependent on the music. It will have just been more background noise for us, for our brains, for our already desensitized minds, accustomed to the constant endless noise and chatter from reality. Apple? What? Is this level? Apple. So real, bro. What? What an strange level, actually. Yeah. Anyways, I was saying basically, I don't know. You can also blame the people who give up on making it work in any other direction, but it doesn't really matter. In the end, people choose whatever they do, and if that's the way we want things to go, that's fine, I guess. It could be something else, but because we don't want that to be the case, this is at face it feels... No, it's the guy. What's the name of the guy? The happy face, the internet happy face. I don't remember exactly. It's like the lol guy, something like that. Yeah. I get the reference. Is this another... Was Rateratis another form? Another thing that I should have gotten? What the fuck is this level? Oh, yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I feel like probably also we are done here. We don't really have that much more to see, so we should just die already. There are not that many more levels to explore, actually. In this area in particular, not. It doesn't seem to be the case. Is there no other... Like, unavoidably, no. The particularity of this quote-unquote game, aka also experience, is the creative input from people more than anything else. Because it's amazing to see how much people made all of these things themselves. Not that they were created or whatnot out of nowhere. Ah, hello Susan. I hope you're doing very good. Ah, yeah. Today, I need to go back on my word and we're playing something. I had to cave in and play some pac-man. I couldn't live my life without some pac-man, I guess. Can happen. Can just repeat the guys. But yeah, as I said, I hope you're doing good. Hope everything's doing fine. And yeah, I don't know, pac-man. Have you heard about pac-man? No, sorry. ah, you're a can happen. At this point, it has already become tradition to say, as long as you keep trying to do better, it's all part of the process. Yeah. But no. Here, today, I guess I can say also, I am feeling very good. I don't know. It's actually, this game is incredibly stressful. I can admit that much. Because it's weird to see how difficult some levels are. Because unavoidably they aren't designed for Pac-Man. They are used for stuff that is not Pac-Man, like artwork and such. So, or pixel art, I guess, quote unquote pixel art. So that makes it incredibly difficult to actually play them well. But anyways, today, so far, I have only been talking about philosophy and such. I guess that has been the common point of discourse that I have encountered. I feel like it's... I haven't really said that much in reference to anything else. Mostly also, I guess I don't really feel like I have much more to add to other things. I have encountered myself quite in the process of learning. It becomes quite difficult, at least for me. I don't know about other people, to have any other idea. Like I dedicate myself to learning something, and the obviously easiest step is to like regurgitate all the information that I have been taking in, but unavoidably, because also we're not really that much of an educational space. We don't really do that. We don't really aim to that. It's hard for you to motivate yourself. It's acceptable because it also is sometimes. Oh my god. Sorry. Excuse me. I was trying to say it's acceptable because at the same time, one of the main functions of having those other social connections is to get that motivation from others. But I don't know, I do... Okay, I can say something actually. I was thinking about it, not particularly from the sense of motivation, but rather from the sense of inspiration. Not... I guess depending on what's the definition of particulars is. You could say, no, yeah, inspiration is not really the same as motivation, but to some other degree, you very much find it used interchangeably, and I don't know. I feel like it's we still have quite a hard time grasping sometimes that both of those things, in this case, let's assume that they are different, inspiration and motivation, both of those things are not really gained out of nowhere. There are things that we can learn to do, and there are things that we can learn to properly bring forward to ensure that, therefore, motivation in itself happens, or inspiration in itself finally arrives into the process of the thing that we're hoping for, so to speak. I like saying I will do something, following through. Yeah. I mean, that's why I tried to say, because in the end you also have the reality of people who say, yeah, I can only continue my artistical process when I find myself inspired, and it pretty much sounds still like you're saying, or like you're talking about motivation in the end. So that's why I tried to make that distinction. But yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. And point was, sorry, that it's. I don't think it is entirely something so difficult to master. The issue is being constant enough to never have an issue with that, so to speak. Or I don't think, yeah, actually, I don't think you can never have an issue with motivation once you actually understand how it works. It's getting to understand how it works so that you don't have to worry for a for any moment in which you finally have a hiccup with the act of trying to motivate yourself for something. Again, because you understand how to recuperate from that experience, basically. Because it will happen that we will encounter things that we don't really feel like are capable of letting us have the motivation to continue. Like, yeah, to give more proper definitions. Like, I don't know, it's understandable to struggle with stuff like, I don't have motivation after I lose a family member. I don't have motivation after I lose some. I have been working incredibly hard on this project and I see it fail horrendously, absolutely hard. All the motivation that I used to have, therefore, is lost. Because even if before I had it, now I cannot really utilize it in any way. Now my hopes are completely meaningless. Now my dreams led to nothing, so I cannot really gain much, even if I want to. So motivation dies in that moment. Yeah, but even if that is the case, I just have a hard time convincing myself that I should do something. Yeah, it can happen. The problem is, as I was saying once again, getting to get there, a method that works like that is complicated, because I don't know, it's not that I don't know, sorry. It's hard to actually trust the found way. You can encounter something that you feel like lets you feel like you're at least starting to understand how to motivate yourself towards doing stuff, for example, towards doing something and such. And because in the end, we end up many times changing our opinions about things, many times changing our minds about how we want to do something and such. Therefore, because we end up contradicting what we used to believe was an actually functional way of reaching the desired goal, basically, the thing that we can say we used for motivation ends up dying in one way or another, and that's difficult. But I don't know. My point is, I don't think that even if that happens, it's necessary to say, yeah, I don't feel like I should keep trying to find yet another new way to motivate myself to do something. It's always right to have that capacity to continue. The whole resilience thing and such of, yeah, even if today I don't really have the motivation myself to move forward, be willing to still struggle and such. Like, I don't know, there are many mechanisms to quote unquote encounter ways to convince yourself. I wouldn't entirely dwell on that sense of convincing yourself as if the whole desire to be such a logical creature doesn't entirely pay off, because in reality there are so many emotions at play during so many times of our life, during so many things that we do in existence, that to simply wish to find the logical conclusion that will let you not struggle with motivation will simply not be possible. Sometimes, once again, the emotions themselves are enough to simply make you feel like, no, I don't really want to. I don't really want to accomplish this thing. I don't really feel like I should try to accomplish this thing and whatnot. And when that happens, no, ironically, there are way too many things that need to be present to be capable of, even if that occurs, not just struggling with motivation, let's say, but no. As I said before, I think the point that matters the most is having the capacity to say, yeah, I am going to try to continue. It's fine. I want to say that it is fine, actually. That even if you don't have it, maybe tomorrow you will find it. For now, keep looking forward to that. At least, not do not forget that at some point the sensation can also return. The good sensation that lets you have the motivation comes back. But yeah, I guess that's the point to some degree. Yeah, I don't know. Hope in any way it can make any sense. Yeah. Also, I want to know, I have been here for like an hour or so already. I should drink something. I haven't hydrated at all. So yeah, give me a second. Oh yeah. Okay, good enough. Okay. Okay. Before this tiny, not exactly deviation, but change of topic, I was trying to talk about, as I said before, philosophy in general, and the most important point, aka the last one in which I was about the whole current encounters with philosophy as an undercover thing, so to speak of. Something that does exist, but not entirely directly. You can encounter philosophical notions and such in things, in any artistical expression, but not directly expressed. So that's, I wanna say, an issue, but at least it's the current mode in which we can stand philosophy in the current world. So it's something to actually be happy about, simply put. It's not something worth getting angry for, because it isn't the exactly, oh my god, what is this level? I'm not going to do that level. Oh yeah, I was saying. So, it's good to know that we have, in one way or another, philosophical things still existent in current world, but yeah, certainly they're not all that present in a more proper form. They're not all that existent in a more direct manner, and because of that, it always ends up feeling bad to see that, yeah, all of the landscape is so absent. And I was also trying to say, and it's not. There is this one way to speak about arts. An artist of, yeah, the artist is the one who imparts culture to the masses and such, and well, that to some degree is true. Like, the artist is the person who puts even more value, even more light into things that would have otherwise went entirely unrecognized. Let's say it like that. Yeah, okay. While this is the case, it doesn't mean, it doesn't entirely justify that everyone else has no thing to try anything for. Artists will be the ones who save us once we fail in making our fields interesting, so to speak. No. The, it has to do with personalities. Sorry, I am jumping to the conclusion. It's necessary to also be capable of expressing the value of things from the perspective of those who dedicate themselves to those professions, to those fields of knowledge and such. And now, yeah, the conclusion is it has a lot to do, sadly, with the reality that those who are that sort of quote-unquote creative or intelligent, at the very least, people cannot entirely express themselves in such ways. Because in the end, it's quite impossible for me to actually get to say why something is so important to others. I understand why something matters to me, but the skill to express it with such clearness is not at all the same than the one. Also, parenthesis here. With this, I can actually confirm that, yeah, this we cannot really explore all the levels that there are because it's bugged thanks to this newer version being exported to these current browsers. If it was available, if it was a problem of only once you get to complete the level you will get to see all the other layouts, then that would make more sense, but sadly no, that's not the case. Anyways, saying, was I about that? Yeah, it's necessary to also have the capacity to express the importance of things from those who actually know the most about the fields, not only from the perspective of this very well-informed artist that is capable of bringing forward what seems to be important in this entirely unrelated aspect of reality, so to speak. So it requires a lot of effort to actually have that happen, and sadly, I can say it does feel like philosophy doesn't really have something like that existent, particularly philosophy, because many other fields also suffer the same problem, particularly philosophy doesn't really feel like it lends itself to such customs, to such traditions. It doesn't allow people to gain interest from the outside. It assumes that you're going to be interested, and if you aren't, well, it's bad for you, sadly. Also, what the fuck are these levels? What the fuck are these levels? What? What are all of these levels? Somebody made an entire path over here. Amazing. Then you enter here, then you exit here. Amazing. What a level design. Ay, ay, ay. Also, yeah, so many people. 28th of June, 2011. Wow, so many people left so many levels all throughout this place. I don't know, I find it cute in one way. It's interesting enough to actually see what it is. It's I will say, yeah, beautiful in its own way. Ah, I am terrified of actually exploring that much because in the end, as I said before, we don't really know when we're going to find the thing that gets me banned. I have to assume that at least like a handful of them we can scroll through and it won't be a danger, but otherwise, no way of entirely knowing if that's truly the case or not. What the fuck? You're weird. What? Wait. I want to see what does this one say? Welcome. Ah, a free life. Okay, understood. Yeah. Anyways, I was saying then basically, and I don't know. It's good to get to see how things operate in that sense and such, but at the same time, I don't know. I want to have hope for the future. I want to hope for a better landscape. I don't know. I don't. The popular current figures don't really talk out that in any way. We don't talk out the necessity for a. Is it a proper word? Revindication, revalorization, reevaluation. That one is understood, understandable and such. Philosophy in itself and such. So sadly, we cannot really expect these things to change and to be performed in this manner. Yeah. And because that is the case, we are bound to have stuff work like that for some reason. And we are bound to have things operate in that manner for some reason also. Even if it shouldn't, even if it shouldn't be like that. I don't know, I said before, but like sadly, philosophy might end up slowly dying out. Probably, I don't know, 300 years from now, we will be looking back into it. Like, this does imply that in the future there is still no figure that gets to, once again, reivindicate and reevaluate and bring forward the actual importance of philosophy. But we have to remain hopeful that it will actually happen and that there will be actually somebody who wants to say something about it and make some effort in letting it be known and letting it be actually taken more, not more seriously, with more awareness worldwide, let's say, than what it is, than where it actually stands right now, sadly. Also, okay, sorry, because I have, I finally remembered something that I wanted to add to my other conclusion of gaming earlier, of when we are here and such, and when we are playing things and similar. There is something that I feel like is entirely absent in what I said before. What am I trying to talk about? When at the beginning I mentioned the Northern Iron and such, and instead of that, there is one thing that I feel like has an incredibly important role, and that is how he gets to exist thanks to also the factor. I think it was not. I said I watched a video. Okay, this is a different video that I also watched, where it was the mention that Ludwig made of why Northern Lion is so important. Instead of that, there was something interesting about this guy is so serious because he has a plan and such, and he is so accepted because he gets all the recognition thanks to that and such. Okay, well, that to some degree is true. There is also what I was saying before. The plan, to some degree, still is pretty much playing something. We are still under the assumption that, as I said before, streaming is not really that much different anyways nowadays. The landscape remains the same. The things that we do are pretty much the same. You don't really see somebody play something aimlessly because the point is not the game. We don't really have that much as something acceptable even. I will go as far as to say I wouldn't. I can say it like this. If you told me that the person was aimlessly playing something, I don't know if I am going to actually give them an opportunity. I don't know if that's something that they actually care about. That's how much of a prejudice it actually is nowadays. Still, that's with that, I feel like I actually have gotten somewhere with my conclusion. Because, yeah, I was trying to say before, it's good to see that we can value to some degree the capacity to have a banter and such, but it doesn't. It we can to some degree, not entirely. We are not all that necessitated, that willing to say, oh, wow, what an amazing thing. These things that you say, these things that you talk out, this banter and such, this dialogue is so beautiful. No, that doesn't matter that much, actually. That doesn't play that much of a role, actually. We like to assume that it does, but in reality, the world does not care that deeply about it, that profoundly about these things in any way. I don't know. I have, I'm saying, I want to hope that perhaps things will change in the future. I think, I have to say something actually in regards to that. I think perhaps if we, holy shit, the apple disappeared. If we had gotten in a different time to this very same conversation, the conclusion would have been entirely different. We guess we would have had the possibility of looking at things like, I believe that in a different timeline, when the big IRL streamers who first popped up were present, it would have been possible to make Twitch finally make the shift from gaming to something else. But because of the fallout that all of those personalities have, we lost on the possibility of actually having that exist. So yeah, I don't know. I don't wanna say I feel strange, I just feel to some degree like it's interesting enough. Also, what's that fucking WhatsApp, or am I losing it? Will I have to actually look at that? Okay, lost all my lives, thank you very much. No, that wasn't. I'm losing it actually. Why did I why did I believe that I yeah. I wasn't entirely sure. Yeah, that was WhatsApp. Yeah, no. I'm slowly reaching my mental limit. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know. Aren't there that many more interesting levels? I feel like sadly this isn't really that good at all. Once I wasn't expecting it. I have to accept. I wasn't expecting it to be like that. To be so intelligent. What the fuck is this? What are these levels? Let's see. There are no levels over here. Okay. And over here we have, there is like pixel art in this thing, in the navigator. Amazing. Who could have expected that? And what are all of these things? Why are they all the same pattern? What the fuck? What do we have over here? Let's see. Levels filled with nothing. A star? Wow. So much emptiness. So much absolute nothingness. Share what? Share what? What do we want people to share what? What's the message? What did the author mean by that? 30 dots. Wow, amazing. Bomb. Bomb? Why did somebody write bomb? 22. This is a ping pong reference. Wait, there are two 3 dots like very close to each other. Amazing. You see? I thought there were actually far more levels present here. It's quite sad to see how little this got to actually be known. I would have expected it to have far more popularity, but sadly, I don't even know how I got to know about it myself. I think it was like one random video that I saw 10 years ago that made me aware of it. Thanks to that, it is that now we are here ourselves. KSI? What the fuck? So these levels are quite recent. Ah, the problem is that you cannot even choose to play. Not to play, sorry. You cannot choose the level and see when were they made, right? So you have no way of ever knowing. Play for fun. Let me see. How is this person? What the fuck? How does this person have no name? What the fuck? Amazing. Okay, wait. We went over here. Now, there is a random nexus of levels on this part. What are there? Thank you, Dad. It's quite. I don't know. It's good in its own way. It's good. It's it's quite an artifact of the older internet. Not really that old. As I said before, this is from 2011. Not that old entirely, but crazy to see what it is. But yeah. Was wow, FNAF. I mean, if FNAF actually came out like so long ago, anyways, it's not really that amazing. Ah, and these levels, what are these levels? There are already around here. We have so much slop. It's crazy to see that. To see so many levels being literally nothing. Like the basic pattern. Mook. Wow. At least I can be happy that I got. Wait, what? Galist? Alist? Alistair. Is that an R? I have to assume. An R? Wait. Alistair Rocks. Al. The. Wait. What did that guy mean? Wow. Wait. We were over here, no? We were over here when I started to move around the place, right? Let's see. The other corner. I wanna see. I'm not doing it intentionally, but at the same time, the curiosity leads me to try to see, is there going to be any kind of symbol that would actually get me banned? I am amazed. The only quote-unquote bad thing that I got to see was like an incredibly like 5-year-old penis drawing, so not really substantial, but there is truly no porn. Amazing to see that there is truly no swastika out of fucking nowhere. Knowing the trolls, I guess. No, it doesn't really make sense to assume that it is because you have to link your Facebook. You can. By the time this existed, it was incredibly easy to make a fake account. So, I don't know, crazy. But yeah, we are back again to the. Okay, there we are. We have something bad. Finally, an Spanish insult, but finally something. Unless we have to assume that this was written by, what is it? A Vietnamese? That they also utilize the word puto? Wow. Wait, these are serious levels. Somebody out of nowhere added so many real levels. Wow. I don't know. Then, wait. On one hand, you have all of these real levels. On the other one, you have somebody who did the same fucking pattern 1, 2, 3, 5 times in a row vertically for no reason whatsoever. And somebody who went in a line over here for some random reason also. so unexplainable. And why is there like literally one down line, one like, let me see, here we have, okay, in the navigator we have a very thin line going down. What the fuck is this, bro? Can you win? Probably. What an interesting side. I have to repeat myself, man. What a sad thing that it actually doesn't let us see, not explore it as it was intended. It would have been amazing to actually get to see it properly, but we can only experience it through the distance because the proper codes that would have allowed us to keep on loading level after level doesn't exist anymore for some reason. So also there is a random nexus over here. What the fuck is this? There are some serious levels. Nyan Cat, Walt Disney. What the fuck is this? A heart? I love you. What does it say here? What? I think it is. Yeah, Thomas. Omzi. Omzi. Sordan Bray. Holy shit, that's a name. Sorry. Somebody just got randomly doxed. Mace's played one. Shut up, brother. Happy face. TWDI. Does this mean something bad? Old? What the fuck? Old? What the fuck does it say here? Old Juarez? Old? What the fuck does it say here? Undernet. Whatever does it say there? Old Juarez. Undernet, I have to assume. Also, oh my god, I thought I finally saw one, but no, it isn't a Nazi symbol. It says USC. Okay, good enough. It was save pac-man. Yes, sir. We should have saved the pac-man. Also, why is there like literally a straight line over here? Somebody fucking made so many levels with nothing for the sake of creating a straight line. They ruined the fun of things. Wait, can I reach the border? No, right? I will probably be scrolling incredibly long because somebody made it their life mission to fucking fill this thing with nothing levels. 930. Is this the coordinate? Yeah, 930. Why does this have the coordinates of where you're sitting? What? James wrote his name over here. Ah, wait. A Nexus at 1,000. Wait. I recognize this shape. What? What could it be? Wait. Wait. Why is there a circle over here? What the fuck? Ah! Somebody made a circle. Amazing. It looks like stars even. Wow. Wow. It took me a second to actually understand what the fuck I was looking at. I thought it was like some special effect, but no. Somebody made artwork with so many levels. Wow. Wow. Amazing. So creative, actually. I thought it actually was gonna be something crude like a fucking penis, but no, it were two circles next to each other. Wow, beautiful. And over here, what do we have over here? Let's see. We have a random nexus in this space. What do we have here? Happy birthday, Sammy. Pac-man is back. Yeah. PSU seminar? What the fuck does it say here? Seminole. Ole. FSU. What the fuck does it say there? What? What a great place. But yeah, I don't know. I hope at least this can keep on living in the future. Also, why does it keep on going? Who actually made this fucking line? Who said, yeah, you know what? My life mission is to make the longest fucking line. At this point, how many levels have I gone down over here? Let's see. This is level 1800. Who the fuck goes down so much? What the fuck? There is another nexus over here? Is this art? No. What the fuck? Why is there a nexus over here? 2000. Okay. Whatever. What an interesting place, I guess. But yeah, at this point I can only say that yeah, probably we are done. I don't think I have much more to add today. I have been exploring simply this to try to find anything else. I got two, so I am happy with that. Also, wait. Welcome to the ads. Wait, 2016? Fuck you. Somebody had to finally write something rude, you see? But it was just an insult. It wasn't a hate or a slur as well. Quote unquote happy. Quote unquote. What the? Wait. The line for some random reason diverts over here? What the fuck happened? Have a nice day, smiley face. So real for that. There are some fucking runes over here. I don't speak runes, so whoever knows. There are so many of these. What the fuck does it? No. You can see that. You can see what that thing said. Somebody was making actually art over here, no? Somebody, for some random reason, made a cube. Not a cube. What is it? A rectangle. And said, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not gonna do anything with it. But yeah, I guess my curiosity has been filled, because in the end there is truly nothing over here that seems to matter at— Wait, what the fuck? Can you actually get this? Am I losing it? No, wait. Yeah. It started to bug over here, because you have points that you cannot gain anyways here. So? Amazing. Wait. Did I see that right? Oh yeah. I thought you could go towards the right somehow. It would be amazing if it allowed you to jump directly from this level to the next one in the same horizontal line, for example. But sadly it doesn't, so. But yeah, the levels started to break over here. Crazy to see that. And why are there so many levels over here? What happened? Play for fun. We are in the 2400. For no reason whatsoever? Okay. I guess so. And once again, this has to be all the doing of a player, because again the line just changes position for some random reason. But oh my god, after this, it diverts. Over here it diverts. It moves to the left, not to the right. And then it keeps going down. Don't worry about it. It just keeps going down. Amazing. At this point, no. I don't think I'm going to find anything important. Like, let me see this one. Then this one. Just one happy face. So much nothing. So much nothing, man. What a sad thing. Those circles were, I think, the most beautiful thing I saw in I wouldn't say by far, but certainly substantially. Also, all of this? What the fuck is all of this? This high A, this ain't it. CI. High A, this ain't it. CI, whatever. So people use this to communicate, it seems. What a weird place. Why did it devolve into all of this? More random blobs out of nowhere. What do we have here? Let's see. Smart, stupid. No! No! Finally a Nazi symbol. Can't believe it. It's over. This stream is not getting saved anywhere. Wow. Well, it was good enough. It was good enough. But yeah, not much else to see, I guess. What the fuck? Why are there levels connected to nothing? What happened here? Did somebody get a band or something? What happened? Penis. Anyways, I guess yeah, we're done. We're done. Enough of this foolishness. What the fuck are you doing? Wrong screen, sorry. I made a tiny upsie. There we go. Good evening. We are back. Yeah. What an experience. Was good enough, I don't know. I would have said recommended, but not entirely, sadly. Yeah. It didn't get to be much more, sadly, so we cannot be all that amazed. Would have been beautiful if it gotten to be something else, but I don't know. That whole thing of internet slowly killing all the other things that came before, the tendency to not truly think out the future in that way of, yeah, let's make sure that future generations can access what we created and such. So sadly, we will live knowing that this existed, but in who knows how distant future, we will also have to live with the realization that this is present here only because we get to see it, nothing else. Not because it is accessible anymore, basically, but it's over. It's over. But well, at least we had it, it's okay. Anyways. It was good enough, as always. Thanks for everything, thanks for the time, the patience, the interest, the attention, everything. It was notable. It was quite sad, actually, also. Like, I don't know. In itself, it was sad to see it be like this. It would have been even greater to see it truly reach much greater stages. But well, as I was saying, anyways, thanks for everything. Remember to keep yourself safe, be happy, hydrate, I don't know, rest, do things, dream, hope, work on stuff, all of that. As always, thanks. And yeah, see you next time. When? I have no clue yet. Probably tomorrow? Perhaps. I'm not entirely sure this time around. Perhaps. Perhaps not. Who knows? We will see. For now, basically, thanks. And yeah, and even if we don't get to see results, it was still fantastic, so yeah. And you also still have your part to do. So make sure to let that happen at least. Thank you. As always, have a good one anyways. And for now, bye bye.